What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome into the Mayo Media Network. I'm Chris Meaney, and you are watching Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks. 6 games on the ice tonight. So lots of action. Going to break it all down with Cam Stewart. We're going to talk about some picks and plays, maybe even get to last night's action in the NHL, take a look at the weekend as well. All things hockey here with my guy, Cam Stewart. But first, it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. Follow the link in the description for a 100% first deposit match of up to $100. It feels like I'm talking about the same few players. I messaged Matt this morning and I said, can I really talk about Mikko Rantanen and Kyle Connor yet again? Well, they hit on Wednesday. I like them again. No surprise. Their point totals are not adjusted at Prize Picks, so why wouldn't I like these guys? I've left Kyle Connor off the board, but I do like him. Mikko Rantanen, I can't avoid him. I just can't. 4.1 St. Louis. I don't care who the matchup is. He played 17 games in March. He scored 13 goals and had 25 points. 11 of his 13 goals were 5-on-5. So he's just dominating 5-on-5 play. That entire line. We've been talking about them, I feel like, for weeks now. 1 goal, 1 assist, 9 shots in 2 games against the Blues. Over those 17 games in March, he had 50 shots on goal and 101 shot attempts. It's top 5 in the league. This guy just loves to shoot the puck. He's playing with 2 studs. The Blues have lost 9 of 11, 2 in a row to the Ducks. Colorado in the month of March, we've been talking about them quite often and just all of their stats and how they were first in every single category. Well, overall now they're first in high danger chances, scoring chances, goals, shots, absolutely everything. And they scored 72 goals in the month of March. The Flyers allowed 75. The Buffalo Sabres allowed 75. Colorado scored 72 in March. It's crazy. So I'm taking Mikko Rantanen, and obviously I like Nathan McKinnon at 4.6. So I shied away from Kyle Connor at 3.6 just to talk about Connor Garland at 2.9. He scored his 10th goal of the season the last time out. 7 straight games with at least 3 shots. So he's starting to shoot the puck a little bit more. Got the nice floor there. 5 points over those 7 games and 5 blocks. You get half a point for a block as well. And hey, if you get a bucket thrown at you, it's an auto 2 points. Auto 2 points. If anybody throws a helmet at Connor Garland tonight, you're going to get 2 points as well. And the Ducks, they've allowed the 3rd most high danger chances, the 8th most scoring chances, and the 5th most goals against at 5-5 per 60. So give me Connor Garland. A couple more on the way out. Anze Kopitar, 3 against the Sharks. Check out prizepicks.com. Baseball season's here. You can mix and match across all the sports that you love. Cam Stewart, what's up?
Meaney, what's happening? Yeah, I see. You see the other Cam, not Newton, but Talbot diving around like like Ken Dryden last night. I was like, oh my God, it's Dwayne Rollison in his prime here. I don't know what the hell's going on, but those saves he made against Vegas was stupid. If you guys didn't see that game last night, unbelievable. They could have had 12, 13 goals in that game. This guy. Hey, man, sometimes a change of scenery, right, Meaney? When this guy was with Calgary, it was like, ugh. And you know the Calgary system, they didn't do him any favors. No. A fresh spot, and it seems to be kind of a theme this year. Goaltenders changing destinations and doing really good things.
Yeah, he's been awesome all year. I was intrigued with him heading into season-long drafts because of what you just talked about, the system that Minnesota plays and, good defense there. Even still, looking at some of his games, he's allowed – or the Wild have allowed a lot of shots when he's in that. He's making a ton of saves. He made 4 or 5 highlight reel saves last night, like with the paddle. Unbelievable stuff. And I'm looking back. The Rangers had him at one point. I remember he was into the postseason. He was playing the Oilers.
Yep.
And he had one strong year with Edmonton, and then he was with Philadelphia for a minute, and then Calgary. And I hear Flames fans chirping Markstrom, who's a good goalie. It's like, hey, we had Talbot at one point. I wish we would have hung on to him. But yeah, Cam Talbot has looked the Cam.
Yeah, he's back, baby. I'll tell you. I don't know, Meaney. I look at Philadelphia. You guys had Cam Talbot in your system, and you're rolling out these guys? Okay. Yeah, I know Carter Hart eventually is going to figure it out, but geez, man, unbelievable stuff. And yeah, we finally clipped the Sabres this week for everybody. The Sabres. I told Meaney, guys, like I had them the first night too, and I'm sitting there like I don't get excited till the final, just counting my money, like big plays on the puck line, my everything. I told Morency when we're doing our show on Sports Grid, I'm taking the Sabres, like doing the Tonawanda 3-step. Puck line, reg, money line. Hey, we're ready. I'll tell you, man, the way they lost that game, but. Thank God they came back because it could have gone one of two ways. After a heartbreaking loss, you either fold your tent, but they smoked Philadelphia. And as for Philadelphia, guys, People are talking. They're right there right now. This team can't make the playoffs with the way they're playing right now. Boston, I've looked at the way Boston played last night with Darth Vlader in net. He actually played good for Boston. They hung him out to dry last night. Vlader did good. Pittsburgh was all over them. Boston's got problems, Meaney. If you're the Rangers right now, you're sniffing. You're hanging around right now. I'd be very careful. The Boston Bruins, I know they have games versus Buffalo in hand, and that helps Buffalo. But I will say, watch out, because these guys watching this team, they don't look right.
They don't look like, no, not at all. And I'm just on the fly here looking to see what we can get the Rangers and make the postseason. I can't really find it, but I would maybe shop around. Yeah, they're a team that's starting to play with a little bit of confidence. You know, Igor Shesterkin is a really, really good goalie, and he has been awesome since he's been back in the lineup after missing a couple of weeks with a hamstring or a groin injury. So if he could pull together a couple games and Mika's starting to score, Aaron is obviously awesome when he's in the lineup. So if they can string together maybe, you know, a nice little run here, maybe they do get in. And Boston's the team that's out. Philadelphia, a negative 22 goal differential inside that division is crazy. Like Washington's plus 13, Islanders plus 26, Pens plus 26, Boston plus 8. Even the Rangers are plus 19. And Philly minus 22. They've allowed 129 goals, which, Cam, is the second most in the NHL. Just behind the Sens.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a wild year, Meaney. And you know, like, we get streaky, we have great nights and stuff. It's hard though. These teams, we talked about it, back-to-backs and series against these teams. But I will say this, I'm starting to look, and you're watching every game too, it's starting to look good again. These guys went through a lull. It's like, I hate you know what I mean? We're bored. We're playing the same team. They can kind of see, you know, they see the finish line a little bit, more chirping, more aggressiveness. You see like some dirty hits like Connor McDavid. I love Connor McDavid, but buddy, you should have been suspended on that play against Montreal. I don't care if you're a superstar in the league. That's a 2-game suspension, in my opinion. Stevenson of Vegas does the exact same thing. He gets 3 different strokes for different folks. That's a problem, NHL safety. Hey, I'll say it. I really don't care. Because you know what, Connor McDavid, now people are like, oh, okay, you want to be a superstar and play that way? Don't worry about it when Tkachuk comes after your head, because that's exactly what's going to happen the next time, you know, when Calgary plays Edmonton. Meaning, this is the thing. You have to be consistent. Stars can't get away with that stuff. And no offense, NHL, $5,000. It's like me and Meaney going around to the neighborhood. Timbits and coffee. Who wants? I got hey, everybody, it's me. It's McDavid. I got your breakfast coffee. I got your sandwiches. It's like a $5,000 Tim Hortons run. I love the NHL. He almost high elbow butt end. Yeah, $5,000. I can't afford the donuts today. Come on now.
And super late. I had never seen McDavid play so frustrated before. I know he took a puck in the chops in the first couple minutes. They were down 2-0. First 3 minutes of the game. That guy was completely frustrated. They had a 3-on-1 later where they scored a goal, but Jesse Puljujarvi went offside on a 3-on-1, just a complete lazy play where he just like half-ass drags his foot and they go offside. And I saw McDavid look at him and just shake his head like he was. I agree with you. It should have been a suspension. And if anybody else is doing that, it is a suspension. But I mean, the going rate for superstars breaking rules seems to be $5,000. I didn't like the McKinnon thing either. I mean, I agree with you. I thought it was a little soft. That's childish. That's the precedent here. What and are people allowed to throw helmets now and buckets at people, even if it is just a little toss? Like if this happens tonight in a game where Connor Garland throws his helmet at, I don't know who they're playing tonight, doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Throws his helmet at Ryan Getzlaf and hits him in the chin. Is that now just $5,000? Or like, I know NFL's different, but when you're tossing helmets in the NFL, that's an auto 4 games. I know. That's what I'm throwing helmets at guys. What the hell? Listen, this guy, I you know it. McKinnon's one of my favorite players in the league. I love his game. I'm like, come on, buddy. That's like childhood sandbox stuff. You can't be chucking helmets. I'm taking my ball and going home. No, you don't. Come on, buddy. You're better than that, man. And NHL. I don't care if these guys are superstars. These other guys have worked hard to get in the league too. Call it the same. If Stevenson's getting 3 games, McDavid's got to get at least 2. That's my take. But anyway, Meaney, we're here to bet. Yeah. We don't work for NHL safety and hand out $5,000 fines. Yeah, we'll get into the bets. I thought that was just, and obviously Cameron too, Drew, bring him up sometimes. He's a big Avs fan. Listen, it was. Here we go. Is he defending? Is he defending it? Yeah, he said, he just tossed a light toss and hit him in the chest. It's like, here we go. Like, Cameron too, Drew. I know he's been in the chat in my shows. Drew, we're gonna have a little talking to soon. I don't want to have to drive it up to Brampton and give you a lesson, but you're getting really close here. This is 2 or 3 times now. Your takes have been horrible. And I thought maybe at first it was playful, but he's like, well, Connor Garland's running at you. There's two things. Yes, Connor Garland was running at him, and maybe he shouldn't be running at him in a 9-3 game. But also the Avs up 9-3 are trying to score like 4 more goals. They're going hard. You got to expect the opponent getting embarrassed to go hard as well. That's enough about that. Point. But I thought for sure both of those guys would come away with suspension, but they didn't. Let's get into tonight. I love the rants off the top of their shows lately. It's great. Okay, Washington got their ass kicked last night, 8-4 by the Islanders. They got to bounce back here tonight against the Devils. New Jersey plus 145 at home, 20-13 against the spread, 13-16-5. The total here is 6. Caps minus 167. 19-16 against the spread. So both of these, not these teams, but the Islanders and the Caps now tied the East Division, 50 points each. Do the Caps bounce back here, or the Devils they're getting some strong goaltending from Blackwood lately, keeping them in games?
Here's the thing, Meaney. The Devils have been playing better for people not watching. That game against Boston where they lost was heartbreaking. Yeah. They had a lead in that game and they kind of blew it away. I watched New Jersey and think about the situations. New Jersey's there waiting. They haven't played in a bit. It's a good situation. Washington played a game against the Islanders, despite getting their butts kicked. Also, playing the Islanders is not an easy thing. When you go in there, that's draining enough. And now you're on a back-to-back situation against a Devils team that's already waiting for you. If Washington would have beat the Islanders last night, I would make the Devils a large play. I'm still looking at them at plus 145. Listen, I get it. The Washington Capitals have beat New Jersey, but take a look at the games, Meaney. Overtime, 1 goal, close.
Yeah.
New Jersey's playing a little bit better right now. Let's just say this. Washington will not be making my cards trying to fill out parlays and stuff. It's Devils or nothing for me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I'm going to get involved with the Caps either. I think that they're the better team, but everything that you just said, I've watched a lot of the games, and for the most part, I've picked Washington against the Devils, but I feel like I've had to sweat it out. Like New Jersey's 5-3-2 over their last 10 games. Mentioned Blackwood, he's playing really strong. He's keeping them in games. Man, they've played the Bruins really tough all year. Yeah, they're not a complete pushover. There's not a lot here from the shot prop except for my guy, Igor Sharangovich. This is a guy that's not on DraftKings, but you can find him using our free prop shop over at ftnbets.com. And we've been having some fun with him lately. And it's only recently where he's shown up, Cam, on the props. And it was a shout out to a subscriber over at FTN Bets. He had found him. And I said, yeah, I've been trying to look for him as well. He's at 1.5 shots for the over, and he has had at least 2 shots in 6 straight games, 3, 2, 2, 4, and 5. The rookie is not afraid to shoot the puck, and it even goes back further than that. In his last 8 of his last 9, he's had at least 2 shots there. Getting a lot of ice time, 19-28 he played in the last game. Not getting a lot of points, only got 7 goals and 5 assists, but getting a lot of shots there. So if you can find Igor Sharangovich at 1.5, I would take that. Yeah, I think I'm leaning maybe a stay away. Bess, what do you think? Are we overthinking this with Washington? New Jersey seems like they're in play, man.
No, I think I'm just going to leave this game alone. There's nothing I really like out of it. The totals I don't like. The over-unders I don't like. Don't even like taking the puck line here. This one's just staying off my card completely.
Okay, all right.
Discipline. Discipline over here.
He's got it. You got to have it.
You do. Yeah. I know about it. It's just hard to do, especially when I get a couple icy cold steam whistles and the Smirnoff staring me in the face at night when I'm getting crazy watching hockey. Click, click, click. Sometimes you do that. Try to stay away from alcohol when you're making large bets. What else do we got, Meaney?
That might be good advice. I should take that. Toronto and Winnipeg. I should have had discipline the other night when these two teams played, because I was like, Jets plus money again.
Everybody was on that public dog.
Yeah, well, good on Matty Bess and our guy Griff Dog DFS, who tried to convince me into the Leafs, but I'm stubborn like that. Anyways, these two teams going at it again. Winnipeg again, plus money, plus 123. Leafs minus 143. It was a W for Toronto, 13-23 against the spread. The Leafs 27-10 against the spread. The Jets. What we were right about was that top line for Winnipeg with Scheifele, Connor, and Ehlers looking real nice as a trio together. The total here is 6, and before you got on, Cam, Matty Bess and I were talking, and I don't know what he said, some kind of soupy reference, his best soup in town or something. Man, this guy's 7-0 with a 1.41 goals against, a 948 save percentage, 2 shutouts. I can't bet against him.
It's tough. It's kind of like when we identified the Soros train when he was really on a heater for Nashville, and you got to ride it out. But here's the thing. Winnipeg isn't getting respect. And I like the Leafs the last time they played in that game because everyone liked the Jets. But I'm looking at the Jets here. You're getting 20 cents, revenge spot. You know, is Hellebuck playing for Winnipeg? If it's Hellebuck versus the Soup Man, I think, everyone's probably going to go to the over, the reverse theory. One game goes under, the next one goes over. I'm not even going to mess with the total in this game. It could turn interesting, but the goalies have been hot. I think Winnipeg is worth a long, hard look at plus 120, Meaney. I think it might make the card for me. It's hard to bet against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're the team that I like, but you know what? They also don't pay my bills. I think Winnipeg, they're a Jekyll and Hyde club. They can really show up or they can lay eggs. And I think tonight the Leafs are going to get their best effort. It's going to be a tight one. I got to take the dog in Winnipeg.
Yes, you make good points. I feel like I may go down the road again, but it is hard to bet against the Leafs. Like they're playing really good hockey. And I brought up this question last week. If Campbell continues this run, I mean, maybe we'll see him play in the postseason. I don't know. Like
I think you have to. Like Frederik Andersen, I know you have years of allegiance to this team. Campbell's a well-liked guy. They play for him. He's one of the more popular, like, what's he done? Like, you know what I mean? He's on your team. Like, you start this guy. I'm sorry. Frederik Andersen, he's streaky. When he's great, he is absolutely fantastic. When he's bad, he's brutal. And I think Campbell is more consistent. And that's the thing. I can tell one thing. The Leafs really like this kid. He's a very popular guy in the room. They like to play. Meaning it's like a guy that you want to cheer for, right? If we're on a team and we really like our goaltender, he's like one of the best friends, positive guy. You go through the wall for him, and I feel that's the way the Leafs are when Campbell starts.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Matt, are you coming around on that? Like, what's the possibility of Campbell starting game one in playoffs?
If Campbell keeps this up, I said it a few shows ago, if he keeps this up, then the Leafs have no choice but to give him the net. It won't be a long-term allegiance thing like Cam was saying. Mm-hmm. That just simply won't happen. But it'll be interesting. If Freddie comes back and he's fully healthy with, let's say, 10 games left to play, I think they'll go to a split, like an even 50-50 split, and then whoever does the best there will end up getting the reins to start the game. But in terms of betting this game, I feel like a coward because this is 2 games out of 6 that I really just don't want to lay a lot of money on. Plus 1.5 for the Jets, minus 200 is what I'm seeing that at right now. I might throw that in a couple parlays.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's about it. I don't have the stones to go Jets money line, and because I just think betting against the Leafs right now is a poor idea. But I see the value in plus 120 more this time than I did on Wednesday.
Hey, Matt, this is one for you. That's what Gabe does to me every time I don't bet every game on the board. Cam's a chicken.
But then do you end up picking the game?
Yeah, no, sometimes I'm like, stop calling me a chicken here. I'm just trying to make money. And then at the end of the night, I go, how many games do you have on your card? I have 17. I have 26. We're just stooge patrol. But anyway, the Jets could be live tonight, but I do agree. And for all you people, it's like people are going, minus 1.5 and stuff. Meaning, I'm telling you, the plus 1.5 works. Think about it. You got Buffalo plus 1.5. You win that bet. People that's the thing. Like, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking losing games, especially in a shootout. Over time, things are going to happen, right? But you just find a dance partner, and I don't mind doing that. Hockey, these games are real tight. Take a look at all the games that end 1-goal games, overtime games. It happens all the time. If you get that plus 1.5, even with juice, you bang it up with a partner, then we're talking. I love doing the 2-game round robins. You're either going to have great nights doing it where you're just like, whoa, man, look at my account. Sometimes it's going to burn you, but that's the way I want to go. I don't want to lose games, especially with dogs, when they lose heartbreakers in overtime and shootouts, and the favorites tend to win a little bit more when it gets there.
Yeah, dude, we called it last Friday. Remember the Ducks and the Blues?
Yeah.
We had the puck line, and they won the game.
Yeah, I know. You do a little sprinkle on the money line, but I like that puck line, Meaney. It's good for security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Blake Wheeler is questionable, and if he hasn't been doing a whole lot, he left that game early.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to say that it would turn into a one-line team, but Blake Wheeler needs to be on this team going forward, I think, to really feel good about them. But I think I'm on the side with you, Cam, with the plus money, taking another shot. Why not? I mean, it's too good of a bounce back spot here. A couple shot props. Kyle Connor is minus 182 on DK, but William Hill Sportsbook, for those over there, he is minus 149. I don't have a problem going back to Mitch Marner, even though he didn't get there for us, but I'm going to take a guy that I haven't taken all year, and that's Hyman.
Yeah. Love Hyman.
He is a money-making machine for us.
Hyman is the hardest working guy in show business. He always shows up.
Yeah, he's plus 130, 2.5 shots for Hyman.
I was getting Hyman early in the season, 1.5 at plus money.
Craziness.
And no one caught on until he had like 2 games back-to-back where he had 6 shots.
Well, he had 6 the other night. He's got 12 in his past 3. He's got at least 6 in 2 of his past 5. He's hit this total in 6 of 11, which doesn't seem like a lot, and that's probably why we're getting plus money. But he's back on the top line, which I think is key here. He's playing with Matthews and Marner, which, he's going to get that ice time. He's going to get, right around 20 minutes, 22 minutes the other night. So I'm into him more than Marner, but I have no problem with Marner. My favorite would be Connor. But Hyman plus 130 is really hard to ignore at 2.5 shots, especially with the Jets. They give up so much. Edmonton and Calgary in here next. So, yeah, the Oilers got embarrassed the other night. Connor McDavid took it all out on poor Jesperi Kotkaniemi. It was 3 games in 4 nights, and the Habs were sitting there waiting with almost 2 weeks off. Now they go back home to play a Flames team who I cannot figure out. Minus 137 for Edmonton, plus 119 for Calgary, 15-22 against the spread for the Flames. They're 16-18-3 on the season. The total here is 6. What do you think, Cam? I just can't put my money on a team.
Agree. No, they're a hard team to hate. And the thing is, eventually, like you saw what happened. We were right the first game against Winnipeg, but sometimes you got to put the brakes on and you can't fade teams all the time, and you have to look for situational spots. I'm not sure about this one, but Edmonton losing to Montreal in the fashion that they did, the McDavid anger, the high elbow, I got to believe that he is absolutely fuming and will play really, really well. As for Calgary, I don't trust this team. I lean to Edmonton in this spot. I don't like to lay the juice. It's kind of creeping up there, but I like Edmonton to win this game. It's not my favorite game on the card. A later game is, but I like the Oilers a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think about the total?
I kind of like the under just because the Flames don't really score. Like I would assume nothing's confirmed here that they go back to Mike Smith, right? Koskinen is he's a shit show, but Mike Smith.
Seriously, Edmonton don't put Koskinen in unless like Mike Smith is like almost legally dead.
It could have been 5-0 Habs in the first 2 minutes. Like three shots hit the bar. He's looking around. He didn't know where it was. It's right in front of him.
I don't fight with many people on Twitter. I'm a friendly person, but like Edmonton Oiler fan really gets pissed off. Hey, like you say, something about I go, the guy's not an NHL goal. He's a backup. I get it, but he's getting paid. Like he's making way too much. He's not good. Mike Smith, on the other hand, what a resurgence. Like Edmonton, Koskinen's not the answer even as a backup. He's not good. Mike Smith is. If Smith starts, you know what? I think I'm going to take the Oil tonight.
Yeah, I'm leaning Edmonton, and I'm leaning with the under. The Flames have played to the under in 4 of 6. So the 2 that they didn't, they got pushes against the Jets. It went to 6. There was a late goal, which, oh, man, really drove me nuts there the other night. But they're just not scoring, right? 2-0 loss to Toronto, 2-1 loss to Ottawa, 3-1 loss to Ottawa, 3-2 loss to Winnipeg, and then they lost 5-1 the last time out to the Jets. Yeah, they got that bounce back, which I think, Cam, you were on. But for the most part, this is a team that they're just struggling to score goals. I don't know if it's Sutter's plan to just cramp down defensively and win a 2-1 hockey game, but times are changing there, Daryl. Under for me, Daryl. There's not a lot from the shot prop standpoint, though. McDavid's at 3.5. I can't get behind it, and these Flames guys, I can't trust them. There was a point where I was really getting involved with Matthew Tkachuk 2.5s, but he's been so inconsistent. If you're looking for action, that would be the one. But I think, Cam, maybe you're onto something in an angry Connor McDavid.
No, he should be happy. He only got a $5,000 fine and no suspension. Shit. But I think he's angry at the other guys. The effort was pretty weak against Montreal that last game. So Eileen, and the thing is, some books are actually going to post a 6.5 in this game. If you find a 6.5, the under is going to be played for an extra unit, I think, too. Everyone just assumes these North games are going over, but I beg to differ. Things have changed a lot from the start of the season. You see more defensive games, even Toronto, Winnipeg, under when Vancouver plays. Like, you going to keep on hanging these 6.5s. I'm going to take the under in these games. So you might be onto something.
Yeah, I agree with the under. I don't know what we got, Matt. We'll recap it at the end from Wednesday, but Minnesota and San Jose in most spots, I think when we were recording, was 5.5, and I just grabbed that 6. Evander Kane scored a goal with 0.3 seconds left to get the push. But
ridiculous.
Oh, man, it was frustrating. But, yeah, I will. When it goes to the half, I'll take the under, vice versa, go the other way. Colorado here, minus 215 on the money line at home against the Blues, 16-19 against the spread, 5.5 is the total. St. Louis plus 182, 8-27 against the spread.
You're telling me At Stewart, Meaney, and Best Sportsbook, these guys are hanging 5.5s up with Colorado. They might score 5 goals in the first period.
I know.
Am I falling into the biggest trap full of poisonous snakes and spiders and scorpions? I don't know what's going on, but this is nuts. And if I'm falling into the trap, that's me at the bottom of the well. Hey, it's little Cammy. I need help. Yeah, remember little Timmy on The Simpsons? Hi, I'm Timmy O'Toole. Yeah. Take him away, Tosh. We got to do this. We got to take the over. Meaney, how do you take the under in a Colorado game the way they're scoring right now? St. Louis, too, playing for their playoff lives. They got SJ Sharkies playing better. Hello, the Kings are playing better, breathing down the neck. Wile E. Coyotes lingering around. I'll tell you, this series with the Blues could absolutely bury these guys. They're going to put an effort in. What are we talking here? Over?
100%. 100%. I looked at that total and I was like,
honestly, if my hockey guy at the sports book hung a 5.5, I go, listen, Chuck guy, let's go and have a smoke and talk about this. Like, are you watching these games? Like, you got to hang nothing lower than a 6. I'd say juice was 6.
100%. Colorado has scored at least 5 goals in 7 of their past 9 games.
What are you doing?
They had 4. And the other one, they played, a hot Vegas goalie in Fleury, right? It was a 3-2 hockey game. It was a bounce back spot for Vegas after they got absolutely embarrassed the game before.
Mm-hmm.
They were in tune, and I totally agree, man. I don't get it at all. I think maybe they're giving a lot of respect to Philip Grubauer, and this guy's been good too. But I think the Blues are good for a couple goals, and Colorado seems to be good for 5 every single night. Like, look at these goal totals: 8-4. 5-1, 6-0, 5-1, 5-4, 5-1, 3-2 overtime loss to Vegas, 5-2, 9-3. So,
yeah,
they scored 72 goals in the month of March. So, yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. Are you just avoiding the total, or would you think about Colorado on the puck line, or avoiding Colorado on the money line and just going to the total? What do you think?
Yeah, usually, I know a lot of people are just going to put Colorado in there. I hate to say it, and I think the Blues have been one of the biggest disappointments in hockey. I think they play one of their best games tonight.
They got to.
Have you looked? Like, it's kind of like what I did, and I said I hate the Dallas Stars and I'm done with that team, but then I had a little self-talk and I go, you know what? This game versus Nashville the other night, this is their playoffs. They have to win, and they did win 4-1. And I'm glad I stuck to my guns, but that team, I hate them because they cost me money. You can't think like that. The Blues have cost us a lot of money this season, but they understand. This is it, man. Colorado's also coming off a really big win. I'm not screwing around. I'm not betting the Blues. I'm just taking the total. But I think Colorado might win like a 5-4 game. I think the Blues show up in this game, and it's going to be a dogfight.
I think they show up too. I think they have to. They haven't played them since the start of the season, the first 2 games of the year. Remember, they beat them 8-0, I believe, in the second game of the year. And it's like, okay, the Blues are going to be here this year, and they haven't been. They've lost 9 of 11. But I think that we'll see their best effort tonight. That's why I feel a little bit better about the total.
What do you think about the team total? Colorado Avalanche over 3.5, paying -125. Out of their last 10 games, they've only missed that mark once.
What's the Blues team total? Is it 1.5?
What number
minus
do you want?
Money? I want 1.5. What's the juice?
-240.
Okay, give me 2. What's 2.5?
+120.
Sold. I think they get 3 goals tonight.
Yeah, I like both of those bets.
Actually, I kind of do too. You give me, but like if I said 5-4, I think this game has got shootout, overtime, something weird written all over it, in my opinion. I know sometimes I'm hot, sometimes I'm ice cold, but I tell you, the Blues. One thing I know for sure is if they put an effort in the way they play against the Ducks, Colorado's going to win this game like 7-1. But that's not happening. The Blues understand. You guys know the standings. This is it. And these teams have to wake up. Like, there's dog fights going on. The top heavy teams have already there. They can go on bad streaks and they're going to make the playoffs. This is huge. This next stretch of hockey for the Blues will determine if they make the playoffs or they're out golfing early. And I think they show up.
They have a 1-point lead on Arizona, who are in action tonight against Anaheim. They're on the road, -120, Ducks +103, 23-14 against the spread. We've been saying this all year with the Ducks, haven't we? They've just hung around. Like, look at the 23-14. They play more 1-goal games than anybody in the league. I know you look at their record and they're 11-20-6, but this is a team that just seems to be in games. And sometimes when I watch them, kind of put you to sleep, but they just find a way to hang around hockey games. I think with all that said, I think I'm kind of feeling the Yotes here on the
I agree. I know what the sad thing is. I originally thought I was dancing with the Ducks, and then I'm like, quack, quack. Nah, Arizona. Oh, you said it, Meaney. I think that it's a business time meeting.
Yeah.
Arizona needs to take care of business. The Ducks, they're a gritty opponent. Yeah. I'll give them credit. They haven't tapped out. Like, they're still playing good hockey, but Arizona understands there's a lot of teams. It's a big night for that division, right? If Arizona can get a couple points here, that's big on them. I lean that way. It's not my favorite game on the board. I originally was saying maybe the Ducks is a dog, but I've changed my opinion there. Lean to Arizona. What do you think about the total at 5.5? Is it too low? Is it a sneaky over? Like, I don't know what to do. Maybe we just bet on the side of this game.
I think the side. My initial feeling is under, but I know Gibson hasn't been that great. It looks like he could potentially get between the pipes tonight. You know who has been good is Aiden Hill, despite the game against Colorado, where it was just like a shit kick.
Yeah, we give him a pass. It's against the Avalanche.
Yeah, we give him a pass. Neither team really scores a ton of goals, so that's kind of how I feel. But even looking back at some of Arizona's games here, they went through a stretch, Cam, where it was, against Colorado, 2-1 under, 3-2 under, 4-0 under, 4-1, that's an under, 3-0 under, 3-2 under against the Ducks. So they played to a lot of unders, again, besides that last game, and then another one by Colorado too. So I think initial feeling is under, but probably a stay away. But I do like Arizona. I think overall they're a better team, and they just got their butts whooped. So this is a quick turnaround for them to be focused. And you're dead on with the standings, man. A win tonight and a Blues loss, like, they're looking and saying, "Holy crap! If Colorado beats St. Louis tonight and we win, we're in the playoffs right now." So it's very interesting. All right, the final game here of the night: Sharks and Kings. SJ Sharky plus 108. On the road, LA minus 125. What are you thinking?
This is my game, Meaney. This is it. Yeah, I've been waiting. The Sharks feel good. They beat Minnesota. They played that game. Also, we've watched a lot of their games. Let me tell you, it's a little bit of talent. It's Evander Kane playing better and a little bit of luck. As for the Kings, you want to talk about a goalie, Cal Peterson? I'm not stepping in front of him. This is my game tonight. I think the LA Kings are a better team than San Jose. They're at home. I think this is huge. I get it. SJ Sharky's been a lot better, but you know what? I'd like to see this game as a pick 'em. I know it's a quarter now. I'm taking the LA Kings tonight. It makes my card. I think they're in a good spot, and I think the Sharks have been playing better, and I'll give them credit. But I also watched their last game against the Kings where they won. The Kings dominated that game. Martin Jones stood on his head. If there's any type of puck luck and he doesn't play like that again, the Kings will win this game by 2 or 3 goals. I'm with the Kings. Hello. Let's go Regal tonight. We're going with the Kings. Let's eat well, Meaney. Let's upgrade. Let's upgrade tonight to rib caps instead of blade steak because we're Kings.
I like that. I watched that game. They lost, but I felt like they deserved better. They were the much better team. San Jose has been playing a little bit better lately. You're right. It's Kane. It's Carlson on the blue line playing better. It's Thomas Hertl back into that lineup playing better with Timo Meier, and they've been getting some decent goaltending. But I agree. I think LA is a better hockey team. They've stumbled recently, but a big win against Vegas. They beat Vegas twice now over the past 5 games. So those are big W's. Good for the confidence. I'm probably going to leave it off my board. I'm going to pull the Matt here. Discipline.
I don't know why I like LA, but that's the game kind of stuck up to me. Like, I like a lot. I just think they get it done tonight, Meaney. San Jose has been great, but I think the Kings can make a big put a stamp on things tonight with a big win over a rival.
All right, let's Dustin Brown finally didn't get it. My goodness, he had the 2 shots. It was 14 straight games where he had at least 3 shots. Got to go back to him, guys. I don't think it's a slump. You got to have erase that from your memory from the other night on Wednesday and go back to Dustin Brown. This is a much better spot for Dustin Brown as opposed to Vegas. And this is a Sharks team that allows a ton of rubber, 5-5. They are second in penalties taken per game. So a couple power plays, and we'll be on our way there. Quickly, DFS, let's run through just where we think the goals are going to come from. McKinnon up at the top, 9-2. McDavid, 9-1. Matthews, 9. Ryan O'Reilly, 6-7. Scheifele, 6-4. Tavares is 6. Kopitar's 5-9. Nugent Hopkins is 5'8", Couture is 5'6", Braden Shen is 5'5". Go a little bit deeper down the board. You got Kadri here at 5'3", Hertl 4'9". That's it. Dubois 4'1". You know what? Kopitar 5'9".
I like it.
Why is he 5'9"? Matt, why is Kopitar 5'9"? We were ripping sites, booking him at 6'8". Now he's 5'9" against the Sharks.
It makes no sense to me, especially in this game where it could be wide open, especially with Anze Kopitar playing some of the best hockey of his career. This guy should be priced closer to 7 almost every night now. And depending on the matchup, I could see him dip as low as 63, but he should be around the 63 to 7 range. Anything under that, I think, is a value.
You must like Kopitar tonight, Cam.
Oh, do I ever? And come to think of it, thanks for reminding me. I probably with the rib caps. Let's parlay it with some sea scallops wrapped in bacon. I like the over in this game.
Oh, baby, nice.
Yeah, that's your East Coast style. I mean, you got to bring me over for a nice feast. You just throw everything off the table. You put down the newspaper and just dump it out style. Cracking into crab legs. I'm going bananas. Yeah, I gotta have you over. Yeah, I'm gonna move to the East Coast, man. I love seafood.
100%, me too, buddy. Yeah, bacon wrapped scallops. This is nothing better. And we'll have you over the East Coast, and we'll eat like kings.
Yes, like kings. You like the over in that game, guys?
I do actually. Yes,
I think we see some goals.
Yes, I do. I think I have a stronger feel with the total than picking a side here. Absolutely, I think we'll see. Maybe a 5-4 game or something like that.
Perfect.
We get 4-3. We'll be loving it.
Yep.
So Kopitar really does stand out. Obviously, guys have no problem with the Colorado top line here, but there is a second or their third line that has been really good too, and that's Tyson Yost, who is 2-5 on DK, with Donskoy, who we had over at ftndaily.com as a write-up, and he scored a hat trick 7 minutes into the game. Now, he's going to be a little bit more popular because of that hat trick game, but if you just look at his last 10 games, I know I'm jumping around here. I'm over at Wing now, but he's 4-2 on DK. He's got 9 goals and 15 points in his last 10 games. So it's not just the last game where he's been great. Valery Nichushkin's on that line as well. There's just so many different avenues that you can go with some of these Colorado guys. But the reason I like Donskoy quite a bit is because he took Nazem Kadri's spot on the first power play. So he's getting to play with some of those big boys as well. Over at Wing, up at the top of the board at Wing, Draisaitl 8-8, Ovechkin 8-7, Marner 8-1, Rantanen 7-6. Again, he's just underpriced. I don't get it. 7-6, averaging more fantasy points than Marner, who is $500 more than him. Kane 7-2, Landeskog another guy 7K. I don't get it. Ehlers 6-9, Connor 6-8, Perron 6-5 rather, Garland 6-3, Tarasenko 6-1. Top of the board, anyone stand out to you? I know these are all studs here.
Who are you talking to me, Meaney, or are you talking to Matt? Oh, sorry. Yeah, throw some guys at me there. Sorry, I was just doing some live betting right there.
Oh, I love it. What are we doing? What do we got? You're just like king.
Sorry, I was looking at some golf. Golf.
Nice. All right.
I'm such a jerk.
What are you betting? Tell us. What do you got on the go?
Actually, I was going to tell Mayo. I think I got Cameron Tringali to win at the start of the tournament at 40-1. I was looking at a live bet with Matt Wallace at 45. He's been playing a little bit better. If you want to throw some a big bomb, Zach Johnson might be there for the weekend. I think he's 1 under, but this tournament it's going to get wild over the weekend. So I'm just trying to find a guy, Meaney, so we can add to our feast tonight. Like we're going bonkers. We're going to invite the whole neighborhood over. Connor McDavid style, $5,000 dinner, sponsored by the NHL Safety Department. So which guys are we looking at here for value? I agree with you with Donskoy. That's an absolute steal. That's like robbing, because he's a guy that's stepping up. You don't pay a lot of money for. I think we're going to get goals in the Kings Sharks game. You said, I'm glad we talked about the total. Who do we take on the Kings, Meaney? I like the Kings in the over in this game. What Kings do we take? You said Brown. You're going back to?
I think the stacks are St. Louis, Colorado, and San Jose and LA. Yeah. So the Kings, Kopitar we mentioned is cheap. Brown's 5-4. Iafallo is 4-5.
Like that.
So maybe those three. As we move over to D, Doughty's 5-3. You get involved there. And even on the other side, I still like the Sharks to score some goals too. Eric Carlson
I agree.
4-8. Timo Meier. That's where I would go, is that second line with Timo Meier at 4-8 and then Thomas Hertl at 4-9. In net tonight, as we wrap up, it's tough not to really go to Campbell or Hellebuck as just two guys that it's scary, but Campbell's 8K and Hellebuck is 7-3. I know it's boomer bust, it's tournament style only, but I just don't. I think we could see the save bonus be in play for both of those goalies, and at the same thing over Mike Smith 7-9. I just worry about Calgary maybe getting the shots. Like, can Calgary do enough shot total wise for it to be worthwhile to get involved with Mike Smith? But I liked Mike Smith against his former team. Heck, he's played with a lot of teams. And then maybe Aiden Hill at 7-8.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's the game. Meaney talked about the under. If you like Arizona in like a 3-1, 3-2 game, maybe he'll get Hill with the some saves, you get the win, you get all that stuff. I think we roll with Hill. He'll be a lot better. He's not playing the damn Colorado Avalanche. He'll be very happy tonight.
All right, Matt, what do you got for us for Wednesday?
All right, so on Wednesday, you went 3-2 on your straight up picks because you got a push in there. The ones you hit, Philly and Buffalo over. Colorado puck line, you smashed, and Vegas money line, you hit. The ones you missed are Jets money line and Mini money line. For shot props, 1-4 brings your record to 36-13. All the usual suspects just didn't hit for us. That was the big problem here. Kyle Connor's the only one who came through for you there. Your win-loss for your total picks, 102-66. Shot props, 36-13.
All right. So the shot props have been pretty decent. I think, again, don't be afraid to go back to some of these guys who may not have hit, but Connor, 2.5 minus 149. Let's go Hyman tonight, 2.5 plus 130. But again, I like Marner. Those are two in the same game, so you won't be able to parlay them. But Randon, 2.5 minus 141. William Hill, even like McKinnon, 3.5. Dustin Brown, 2.5. And then Igor Sharangovich. That's right. 1.5 for the shot props. Cam, I'm going, let's see here. Colorado and St. Louis over.
Yeah, me too.
5.5. Edmonton and the under 6.5. If you can find it, I'm fine with 6. Winnipeg and Toronto under 6. So those are 3 totals there. And then I'm taking the Jets plus 123, and I am in on Arizona on the money line. What do you got for us?
Yeah, we basically have the same stuff. Other things, I like the Kings a lot. I love the Kings over tonight, over 5.5. Arizona minus 125, lean to the under in that game. Over in St. Louis, Colorado, Edmonton to win. Jets might be a pooch at plus 125, and that's on my card. Brother, I also might take the Devils. You talked about the plus 1.5. It's 80. I might find a dance partner, but I feel better taking the plus 1.5 with New Jersey rather than the plus 135 on the money line.
Yeah, I like the call. I forgot that one. San Jose, LA. I like that one over. Cam, good luck to you. Have a great weekend, buddy. Eat like a king.
Yes.
Live betting baseball. I love it, man. It is a fun time to be a sports fan. Everything's happening in Masters just right around the corner. Matt, shout out to you. Thank you as always for everything. Good luck. Please like and rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. You got a question, leave it in the comment section. Circle back before puck drop. Matty Best will be with you, I believe, on the weekend. Give him picks and plays. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Cheers.